Citizens of Rome, welcome to APGamingREAL. It is I, your praetor. I am joined for the first episode of Entertain Me by these fellow broadcasters and tabletop game GMs. Kelsa, it is your show tonight. Please feel free to take the hosting duties from me.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Kelsa. I'm going to be running this show, at least as far as GMing is concerned, and showing off Blades in the Dark because it's a little bit my favorite system. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of my friends join me here. As a hound, we've got Xmsginganinja. Say hello.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, that's great. Perfect.
That's all I got.
We'll learn a little bit more about characters in a minute. And Naja, thank you for joining me.
Hello, I'm Naja, aka Tristarae, and I am excited to play Blades.
Awesome. I really appreciate you all joining me, and Arthur, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity to play Blades on your channel.
'Tis a rare opportunity indeed.
Mm-hmm.
It is only the third time I have let someone else GM. Hopefully it will not end in a flaming wreckage like the other two.
That's my favorite.
No guarantees. I'm not really good at like cool banter like you are.
I would say, having seen Cancol, I do not believe that that is true.
Well, that's because you are always prompting our cool banter.
The target of it, one might say.
Well, you know, we're here to entertain you.
Sorry. Yes, that is true.
Well, I'm really looking forward to playing this, and Naja, Ginge, I know you both enjoy playing Blades in the Dark.
Yes.
It's my favorite system.
Yeah.
It has a favorite combat system,
Yeah.
actions, my favorite setting.
On it.
Brilliant.
I feel so left out here. I'm the only one not completely in love with this system yet.
But you're about to be, which is what is exciting.
That is true.
That's pretty exciting.
Flashbacks.
That alone.
So, yeah, we're gonna play some Blades in the Dark. I'll get started. So, the camera pans over a dark city. It's filled with smoke. You can see in the distance large towers crackling with lightning as the lightning barrier keeps out ghosts, and it sparks with energy. But we continue panning around to a section of the city filled with tall towers, 6 of them. People call this place 6 towers. It's weird. And we zoom in on a manor that is somewhat dilapidated. There is petrified trees in the garden outside, but they're all dusty, dirty pieces broken off, and no one has cleaned them up. There's not exactly weeds. It's more like a fungus crossed with a lichen. It's a little bit slimy and not very pleasant to look at. The manor itself appears to be abandoned, but as we glide in through one of the windows, we can see there's a meeting going on inside. There's a tall, thin man with dark hair and bright eyes, standing in a parlor along with our three fellows here. What did the three of you look like as you are in this meeting with our mysterious stranger? Who you all know who is, because I sent you the thing.
I'm probably standing closer to the wall. Tall Bout is a short woman. Her hair is pulled back, like tan, like olive tan skin, and she wears close-fitting dark clothes. And she's listening, but her eyes are darting around the room, and she is flipping a coin through her fingers, and staring at all of the objects on like the side table and everything like that as she listens to this person talk.
We follow her eyes briefly as we see some strange curiosities. There's a jar that has some kind of deformed monster inside of it. At first you think it's dead and floating in formaldehyde, but then it twitches and moves and its eyeball focuses on you for just a second. And then we keep looking over. How about Steinman?
Steinman is sitting in a corner. Her back is always to something. She's got her boot up on the table, as only an ex-soldier would, as she cleans her long rifle, not having to look at any of the pieces as she pulls them apart to clean it, with a loaded pistol sitting right on the table in front of her, just in case anyone has any ideas. She doesn't make eye contact or look at anyone, just staring at the floor, almost lost in thought.
The table looks like it was once incredibly expensive, but all of the gold filigree has started to peel, and there's nicks and scratches in what was once a very finely enameled surface. It's hard to tell what images that it was meant to depict, but it seems to have been covered in dust, as well as just years and years of use. And we pan around finally to our last player.
Indeed. Lysanderoth stands tall, even for someone from this particular land, wearing a black top hat and a peacoat with the collar turned up and a fine cravat around it. But from underneath the hat spills the white hair of a judge's wig. But perhaps most unusually are his extremely fine boots, which do not match the rest of the outfit. And he is standing before the figure that is speaking, listening intently with a grave face.
So the three of you have been hired for a job using a combination of your unique skills. I need you to recover something for me. The figure before you is none other than Lord Skurlock. He is tall, athletic, clean-shaven. His long hair is neatly pulled back in the style of the aristocracy. His very fine clothes make it clear that he is, in fact, the noble that he claims to be. But the fact that he's met you here in this run-down, dilapidated manor house is also very telling of his perchance to work on the wrong side of the law, as some may say. You all know the Dimmersipter's reputation for being mysterious and arcane, but they also have their fingers in the underworld as well. It has come to my attention that they have come into possession of an artifact that it cannot stand for them to keep it. They plan to use this artifact in a ritual the next new moon. And I trust the three of you can put a stop to that. While I would rather prefer that you retrieve the artifact for myself, destroying it would suffice, but under no circumstances should the ritual reach its completion. As long as the ritual does not occur, you will all receive your compensation. However, expect a hefty bonus if you do bring it back intact. And so he hands Lysanderoth a sketch of a helmet that appears to be made out of mirrors. There's like arrows pointing at it and showing like it. The wording on it doesn't say mirror. It says something else, but some kind of reflective material. It is very clear. It appears to have multiple faces that go around the helmet, so that it looks like whoever is wearing it would have multiple faces from any angle. And then he pulls down a map from the ceiling, one of those cool roll-down doohickeys. And he circles a townhouse in Night Market. And he says, "Now, beneath this modest abode is a ruined temple. This is where they will be doing the ceremony. I cannot say for certain where they're keeping the artifact before then. It's up to you to recover it and stop them."
I think Steinman pulls her boot off of the table, stands up, just sort of stretching a little bit. She puts her rifle onto a hook on her back and picks up the pistol and puts it back in her boot where it's just concealed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? Just get the item. Does it matter the cost?
I have one concern.
Try not to
Lord
burn down the
Skurlock.
city? Yes.
Perhaps I am out of touch, since it has been some time since I have returned. However, is it not unusual for the Dimmer sisters to ever leave their house?
That is correct.
Is there any more you can share as to why they are performing a ritual at such a distant location from their abode?
It has something to do with the artifact. Here's what I know. This artifact is very ancient, and its connections to the spirit field are stronger.
Lysanderoth rolls his eyes at spirit field.
At certain locations, such as this temple, they're lucky that it even exists here. If that ruined temple was not in the city, they would have to travel, most likely to Skovland, to perform the ritual.
Yes.
I don't think there's any others on this island.
Ritual. I see.
I think Steinman looks over to Lysanderoth and just... Have you heard the stories about people not leaving that house?
What I know is that all things can be explained with science.
Yes. As I have information pertaining to this, as I have worked for the sisters before, I would think that they die and the spirits are held there. This is just rumors, of course, but it would be a good explanation as a man of science and knowledge. But I know that even spirits can be taken out if done properly.
Yes, I would be on the lookout for spirits in their domicile or in the temple below. My intelligence does indicate they have been known to consort with such beings.
What does this artifact do? I don't want to get down there and retrieve it and find out it has some sort of horrible curse.
That is a very fair question. I'll tell you what I know. Without this ritual, there's an intelligence inside of the helmet, and a wearer can access its knowledge, but the price can be quite high. And if the rumors are true, the intelligence does not speak to just anyone. This is a ritual to dominate that intelligence and unlock other powers that are held in check. I'll be honest, I do not know the full effects that this ritual will unlock. In all of my research on this artifact, there have been none to successfully unlock its full potential.
And then you mentioned compensation, but you didn't state an amount.
Of course. If you can stop the ritual and remove the artifact from their possession through destruction or theft, then you shall each be paid 4 coin. If you manage to recover the artifact and bring it to me intact, I will double that.
I don't know why we're sitting here talking about this then. That's the only thing that matters, right?
Perhaps we should retreat to an abode where we might make our plans.
I will have to meet you after. I'd like to speak with a contact. I may know people who spend time around there, outside, of course. Maybe there's another way in.
Lysander takes off his top hat and bows, and then pulls out a monocle and makes to leave.
I think Steinman, I'm sorry, how do you pronounce your character's name?
Lysanderoth.
No.
Tom Bout.
She's going to lean over and intentionally, Tambit, I think that he may be a little bit too well-to-do to really help us. So I think we just keep an eye on that one.
I know
People
some.
who use air quotes usually have other intentions.
He doesn't understand how the world works, but as long as we get our money, it's fine. I know some beggars that work that area, and I'm sure you know some people as well. We'll find a way in.
Okay. I will. Where are we meeting? Did we just? I think she yells after him to see where we're meeting up.
I'll find you.
It's usually my job.
Good, it sounds like you're all going to be working together quite well. I will await my artifact.
Yeah. And Tom Bout stashes the coin that she'd been flipping and just slips out of the room.
Yeah, and he just kind of waves you all off. Great. Yeah, so you wanted to talk to some of your contacts?
Yes. I am friends with Telda, the baker.
That's right.
And I would like to roll consort and see if she knows any sneaky ways into this space.
Where do you meet her?
I probably meet her. I meet her in front of like a tavern. She likes to indulge in gin, and so do I. As a matter of fact, that's how we met and became friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably pay her like some minor amount, and just ask her like, "Hey, do you know about this house? Do you know of people going in? Do you know of people going out? And if so, you know, what's the routes?" Like, this is I'm a house cracker by trade.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a very routine conversation.
And it starts in the routine way where she gets you to buy her a drink and she finishes it first. And then when you get her a second drink that she can sip on, she'll start to talk. Yeah, go ahead and roll me some consort here.
Alrighty. Is my position fortune or something else?
Yeah, it's fortune at this point.
She does not know anything.
Yeah, I think that you ask her about that house, and instead of slowly sipping on the drink to tell you about it, she downs the second shot and is like, "I don't know anything about that. Bye," and is gone. Like,
typical. I struck out. Good luck,
yeah.
Simon.
If anything, you learn that she thinks it's dangerous,
mm-hmm.
which I think you probably already knew.
I think we would find Steinman maybe just a few streets down from the actual the house, wherever in that area there is some type of like a tavern or something.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Night Market is filled with taverns and shops and little tea houses and places that are definitely not drug dens. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, no, that's what she was thinking, and she's probably in one of them, but it mostly because no one goes there for anything but business, depending on what the business is. But I think Steinman walks in looking very out of place in dented and worn steel boots and just maybe dry blood that she couldn't get out on like a stained, darker shirt, like brown shirt, and like normal men's trousers that she has fitted to herself. And she'll walk past all these people because they see her there every so often. This is where they always meet. And she'll go down and meet Valeris, who is a spy that she works with whenever she needs intel for a bounty.
Yeah, as you walk past all of the people who are, smoking a hookah and in some little plush booths, there's a beautiful hanging tapestries for walls. And you make your way to the back, and there's some light music playing from somewhere. You didn't actually see the musicians anywhere, but there's just some gentle instrumental light, probably sitar music, just giving some atmosphere. Valeris sees you and stands up. He's a little bit portly and looked like he was reading over some ledgers, but he sees you and smiles greatly and opens his arms for a hug, which seems a little bit out of place as you're there in your mercenary armor, but he doesn't care.
She does that thing where it's a thing between them where he will always try to hug her, drunk, sober, walking down the street, trying to like sneak attack hug if they're passing each other in the market, and she doesn't, maybe somehow slips her glance, and she just pushes his belly so that his arms can't reach her, and she's like, I don't do hugs. I don't.
Right. Stedman, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Well, I'm sure you're here for business. Please have a seat. I'll have something brought over. And he like ducks his head behind a curtain and like waves at someone before taking his seat back behind his table. And shortly, someone comes in with a bottle of wine and a couple of glasses and bows and leaves the two of you alone.
I think Steinman has already been sketching up the house just out of boredom before when she first heard about it. But she'll hand over the paper. What we've always talked about. The one job that's unfinishable. It's we're there. I need some information. What's downstairs? What are we looking at? Do I have to go check it out myself, or is this something I can send? And she just nods to non-existence, but he understands that it's her ghostly companion.
Gotcha. He takes a look at it and he like sits back a little bit and is like, "Is this the house I think it is? Oh my. Oh my. I might have something for you. Give me a moment." He starts rooting around and stuff. You wanna roll some dice here to see how well what he might already know?
And I can't push myself on this. I just remembered. I haven't played in so long. Did that roll anything?
No.
Just roll straight through, right? Like leave it at risky and everything.
I mean, you should be able to change it to fortune.
Fortune. Thank you.
There's no risk here yet. Oh well.
Yeah.
He's upset I didn't give him a hug, guys.
That's
so
what it is. Yeah, so he shuffles through all his paperwork, but I feel like he's not trying very hard. And he says, yes, well, you probably don't really want to attack that house. I come to understand that it is a property of certain Dimmer sisters. I'm sure you've heard of them. I don't really want them on my bad side.
We've been talking about this square for months now, looking for the right buyer. If you change your mind, 8 coin, 4's in it for you. And she stands up and goes to head out.
Do you want to try to sway him with that?
Yes. Guess he doesn't have anything in sway. We're going for it.
Yay. Perfect. Oh, no.
It could have been so great.
It could have been. So yeah, you say that, and he's like, adds a lot of coin, but I value my life a little bit higher than that.
Clearly not. And she points at him being stout and drinking more. And she'll point to the drink and she'll say, "This is going to kill you one day. Take it easy." And she takes the drink, one of the drinks, picks it up because he got it for her, but she knows he's just going to drink it if she leaves it. So she'll take it, not that it's going to help because he'll just buy more. She'll put it at some other guy's table, when she goes to walk out.
He shakes his head because you've done this 100 times. And he kind of laughs because he knows it's going to kill him, but it's better than being murdered by weird, scary witch sisters. So he'll take his poison. All right, Lysandra, did you want to do any?
I actually do.
Yeah.
I happen to have a shrewd friend called Salia, the information broker.
Oh yeah, you sure do.
So
Yeah.
when next we see Lysanderoth, the camera doesn't even recognize him. It pans past him a couple times as it's going through a tavern. He's taken his cravat and turned it into a bandana wrapped around his head, dirtied up his face, taken off the peacoat and his shirt, and now is only wearing a vest and sailor's trousers, and looks totally at home with just being like some sort of poor itinerant sailor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about this Salia, if there's any details you'd like to fill in, but this is not our first meeting. And Lysanderoth's probably going to be like, Salia, where are you? I know you're around here somewhere.
So yeah, she is the well, she appears to be the tavern wench for this establishment, but you know that she actually does not do any barkeeping. She just uses that as an excuse to speak to people.
As you do.
Yeah, and so she's a redhead. She has your typical bar wench outfit on, short skirt, shoes with no heels, long stockings, ample bust, and she has that kind of childlike face, but then when you look at her eyes, they twinkle with that hidden knowledge. And so yeah, she comes and like slams a mug of grog down in front of him.
He's gonna like grab her arm kind of roughly and be like, "What'd I tell you about what you do with my drink?" And then lean in and say, "Dear Salia, it's good to see you again. Might I inquire about several individuals throughout the city with you?"
She slaps at your hand and says, "Oh, come on now, paws off unless you're paying for it."
I haven't heard cheek like that since the last time I came to Akaros, and this is how I'm treated? I'm looking for information about certain criminals. Talmbot, Stern, of course, provide portfolios if you can, but also the route out of the Dimmer Sisters' house, tunnels, anything you can find that will connect them to Night Market. You call this drink here a drink? It's more like swill.
Hey, I put a lot of work into that. Look, I'll go in the back and I'll get you something a little brighter, all right?
More like you've poured enough seawater in here to dilute it.
Yeah, so she just hip swaggers to the back and is gone for a little while. Let's roll some consort for you, how productive she is.
Look, I'm preparing to hit this roll, but the way these consort rolls have gone so far, I don't feel good about this.
Well, you do have 2 dice as opposed to 1 or 0, so it's a little better.
That's true. Standard effect?
Yeah, you can put
I think I did put fortune in.
fortune. That's
No
the word I'm
bonus
looking
dice.
for. That. Oh no. The dice are against you.
Life is tough.
We had a
Yeah.
meeting beforehand.
So she comes back and she has like a pitcher. But inside the pitcher, instead of ale, is these dossiers that you were looking for your 2 new friends. And then she says, "Sorry, love, that's the best I could do. Afraid I don't have the time for that last request."
Well,
The hard
this
ask.
is how you treat a paying customer, then. So he like knocks the pitcher over and then stealthily conceals the dossiers in his pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "I'm not paying for any of this. any of this. If this is what you can bring me, this is not worth anything.
I believe you had a deal, and you just spilled my precious grog on the ground. You'll have to pay for that at least.
Fine. Only for the grog. I'll expect better next time I'm in here, Salia.
If you want something so complicated, you may need to order ahead.
Sometimes you require a drink in the moment rather than having one prepared for you. That's all I have to say here. I'm storming out now. Huh, huh, huh. And as he turns around the corner, he's just like taking off the bandana, putting the top hat back on, pulling a shirt out of one of his pockets.
I just love this idea of that you have a very tight-fitting vest, but it's got ridiculous pockets in it that you could pull an entire shirt out of.
It's a wizard vest.
Yeah. Good times.
A vest of holding.
Mm-hmm. But totally explainable by science.
Absolutely. Everything is explainable by science.
Well, y'all have struck out trying to get any extra information here. Do you have any other particular plans before you would like to attempt the assault?
I feel like we should meet up and do that.
Ah, yes. So where do you meet up? How does that roll out? You said you seem to have had a plan.
I do still have a plan. It's just not a very good plan. However, I would like, if you'll let me take a little narrative control, to just show up at some place where the two of them are already meeting.
Yeah.
Dressed in a completely new and slightly ridiculous outfit.
I think Steinman's going to go back to where we all met because she doesn't believe that anyone's going to be able to track her to where she went because she avoids everyone. So she's like, I'm just going to go back where we were before.
So you go back to the abandoned manor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, it's totally abandoned. Lord Skurlock and whatever cronies of his had been in there earlier when you met are completely cleared out. So
yeah, I think Tom Bout just climbs in through a window very nonchalantly.
Mm-hmm.
Lysandra shows up in a blue coat uniform and says, I had already anticipated that you all would return here to the scene of the crime.
There is like a moment of quiet as we just look at Lysandra.
Steinman
oh, sorry, the uniform, of course. No, wait, perhaps it's my attitude. Sorry, I've been reading your dossiers. I feel like I've learned so much about you. It's important for me to know how to support you.
Maybe we should just get this started.
I feel like we've lost a level of trust here. Don't worry. The plan is terrible. Every part of this job is horrible. I don't know how things have gone on your end, but I can't find out anything about these Dimmer sisters and their pagan rituals.
Likewise, unfortunately.
Then
yeah, I don't know shit.
It would be insane to invade their house. And likewise, it would be ridiculous to allow them to reach the target location, as that would indicate a failure on our part. Therefore, the only thing we can do is hit them while they are in transit. You do not seem impressed with this brilliant deduction?
We don't know their route.
That is true. However, there are only so many routes one can take from the Dimmer Sisters' house to this location. There are 3 of us.
I may be able to help with that. And Steinman stands up from the table she was sitting at, walks over. You see her open up. Is there like a window she can open up from the first floor to just look out?
Mm-hmm.
And she just whistles out there. And then goes and sits down, puts her feet up, expecting them to know what's going on. never on time. I'm sorry. And then you just all of a sudden, between the two of you, see a wolf show up between you.
That's handy.
I haven't seen that before.
We can wait at the location if you want, and he can follow them. He's quite fast, and just follow their route and let me know where they're going to be in real time.
Excellent.
The only downside is they deal in spirits.
Oh, right.
So
There's nothing we can do to anticipate any spiritual interference. But we can meet them with maximum violence and deception.
And guns, yes.
Yes, that is the violence part.
Yes. That part I can handle.
Excellent. I will be counting on you to do your part.
What is your part in this?
There are preparations to be made. There are approximately 7 possible routes that I have anticipated. I am preparing barricades, interferences, mobs, a clown. Everything will be ready. No matter which route they take, something will be there in order to slow them down and distract them.
We definitely cut across to a dark, dingy street corner where there is a clown with some brightly colored balls juggling and like standing on one foot. And we cut back. It's like, what?
Simon, for the first time, looks caught off guard and she shivers a little bit.
You don't like clowns?
You fight dirty.
I do fight dirty. I do that by not fighting at all. Now, I have patrol for another 2 hours, so I'll need to return to business soon. But anticipate that wherever this begins, I'll be there.
Fair enough. So we'll track them using your wolf. And when they're vulnerable, we will strike. Seems fairly straightforward.
All right, well, that sounds a lot like a plan to me.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through. So is that? I mean, is that an assault plan? Your plan is to just attack when they're on the move?
I heard the phrase maximum violence.
I also heard that phrase. Okay.
That does sound like something I said.
So we're going to roll the engagement. So we get to ask some cool questions and find out a little bit more before we cut to having already found their route and attacking them. So who wants to be rolling this for us today?
Not me with that skill.
Well, it's going to be a fortune roll, so.
I can roll it.
All right. Thank you for volunteering. So you get 1 die for sheer luck. Now, is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I think so.
We're running up against the Dimmer sisters.
I
We're
agree.
ambushing them in the street.
In broad daylight. Yeah.
Well, daylight is...
I say broad daylight as in the middle of the street, but yeah.
Yeah.
In torchlight.
Is this operation overtly complex or contingent on many factors?
No.
No, it's pretty straightforward. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? The detail is the route.
They're out of their house.
They are out of their house.
Something that never happened.
Which is very rare. So that is, I think, a vulnerability. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? I'm afraid the answer to that is yes. They very rarely leave their house, so when they do, they are ready, at least on a certain level. And can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight on this operation?
They all suck.
Yeah.
No.
My cohort is technically watching them. I don't know if that counts.
That's a good one.
That's technically
He is technically
a
a cohort.
gang.
That's right.
even though you don't really have a gang per se, but you do. And are any enemies or rivals interfering with this operation? I'm going to go with no on this one. Just leave it as is. Any other elements that you want to consider? I'm going to say that even though they would technically be a higher tier than you, that Lord Skurlock is willing to provide a little bit of assistance as far as like equipment is concerned, so you don't have to worry about being necessarily outclassed there. So overall, we're looking at 2 dice.
Okay.
I guess I should probably look at the the roll walks and see what's rolling.
Please don't suck, or please do. Actually, this is the one.
No, that's actually really good.
Fantastic! Oh my God.
Okay, yeah. So you've already overcome the first obstacle, are in a controlled position. So I think where we cut to is we follow the Dimmer sisters coach. They have like a coach totally enclosed. There seems to be...
We should declare our load before.
Thank you. Yes, that is a good idea. What are your
cheats?
Loads?
Let me ask a question. What is the difference between load amounts? Like if I take a light load.
So if you take a light load, it's easier for you to hide or run. If you take a heavy load, it is harder for you to hide or run. With a light load, you're going to look like an average citizen. With a normal load, you're going to look like you're looking for trouble, like you are.
But who isn't?
Yes, sir. You definitely look like you are not just your average Joe going about your business. You look innately suspicious. And if you are taking a heavy load, then you look more than suspicious. You like have obvious weaponry or like a grappling hook hanging out of your bag. It's pretty clear that you are looking to do something illegal.
So Steinman is going to have a fine long rifle, a trained hunting pet, a spirit bane charm, and throwing knives with a light load. Don't mind the rifle.
I will take a normal load into this.
Good.
I will take a light load with a fine covered identity, a vial of slumber essence, a concealed palm pistol, a blade, documents, and subterfuge supplies.
And as per usual, I will choose what I need when I need it. But I got 5 slots.
Cool. Awesome. So, yeah, the coach is traveling, and we cut into it's got like a construct, oh gosh, what's the word for those things?
Hollow?
It's like a clockwork
golem
automaton that is driving the coach. It's not driven by a human. It's it looks like a mannequin, but like ceramic, like a ceramic mannequin is what's driving the coach. It's being pulled by these 6-legged lizards, a pair of them. And we cut into you guys taking out. I may be taking a little bit of liberty here, so please let me know if this is not how you would plan to do it. But basically, because it's cool, someone, probably Steinman, like swinging in and just kicking the automaton off of the coach, taking its place in the seat, and you now have control of the coach.
Alleyway, though.
Yeah, so you take the coach into the alley.
All right, I'll kick this off here if you'll allow me. Can I push myself immediately in order to use my Tempest ability?
Oh,
and
yeah,
summon some
definitely.
heavy fog.
Always.
So now we're in an alleyway, and there's a shrill whistle that comes as a figure steps out of the heavy fog. Wearing his blue coat's uniform, Lysander Roth begins rapping on the coach door and saying, "This is the Blue Coats! Government business. I'm going to need you to step out and present your papers. I have a warrant."
Yeah, you're gonna need to convince them. Can you roll it's either command or sway, depending on
It's a
your
deception.
attitude.
I'll take a sway.
Yeah.
I also have very official looking documents.
You sure do. That's gonna give you derp. Yeah, that's
one die.
Derp.
No, it's not a die. It's a additional effect. So, you guys are in a pretty good position here. It's a controlled position, and you're gonna have a standard effect instead of a reduced effect as you present this paperwork, your fake badge to them, asking for the documentation.
So it's additional effect, no bonus die?
Correct.
All right, now for the folks at home who haven't played this before, can you explain what it is I'm doing as we roll with all this effect and such?
Absolutely. So we determine the position, whether that is controlled, standard, or desperate. You guys are in a controlled position, which means that you have the upper hand right now. Typically, you'd be in a standard position, which means that you guys are on even footing, and a desperate position means that your opposition has the upper hand. So right now, you guys have taken control of the coach. There's a thick fog going on, and you look the part of a blue coat. However, the Dimmer sisters are very suspicious and would not, and have paid their dues,
bribes, of course.
Their bribes to the local blue coats. So getting stopped like this is definitely unexpected. And so normally they would be suspicious and you would have a limited effect, but with your very official looking documents, you will have a standard effect.
I want to ask a question. I don't remember how it goes. Can I ask about devil's bargains and then not take it?
Yeah, if you do want one.
Is there a devil's bargain here that I can bargain devilishly? Because I definitely want to get these people out of the coach and into like murderable range.
Out of the coach and into murderable range. That's a good.
Any range is murderable range if you use the right tools.
If you use
As Diamond says, she's in the window of the first story with her sniper rifle out. She's got her scope pulled off.
Yeah. So I don't think there is any devil's bargain here just yet. But I'm gonna keep my eye out for one. Well, you didn't need it anyway.
I know.
Oh, that is 2 6s is a crit, which means that you do exceptionally well. So yeah, there is a woman who steps out of the coach. She looks like she's maybe 30, maybe 25, maybe 40. It's kind of hard to tell. She's in that age range where it could be just anything, and especially in the fog. She's wearing a rather nice dress. Looks like it's, if not if not nobility, then at least a high-class merchant, but this dress looks really, really old. Like, the dress looks older than she is. It's a little bit threadbare. It used to be nice, I guess we could say. And she gets out of the coach and says, well, I thought that all of our paperwork was in order with the blue coats.
So as she gets out, he's going to offer her a hand to like help her down from the carriage.
Yeah, she'll go ahead and take that hand.
And he says, "Of course, ma'am. The problem is that the inspectors are beginning to peek around, so this is routine." And then he's going to splash his vial of slumber essence in her face.
Okay. So you are definitely surprising her. This is 100% still controlled position. But if you fuck this up,
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's already going to change, but see how badly it changes. So you're going to have standard effect and put her to sleep if you can succeed. But that sounds a lot like a skirmish to me.
Sounds good.
Trying to smack her
mildly good.
This.
So you said standard.
I mean, now
controlled?
there's a devil's bargain here.
Sorry, what's the position to start with?
Oh, you're controlled. Probably limited again.
All right. Okay.
Because she's not entirely what she seems.
Of course. But I have her by the hand and I'm splashing her in the face, so you know.
Yeah. So you definitely are in a good position to get this on her face, and then we'll see what actually happens with it.
Yeah, let's talk about that devil's bargain. What horrible thing could happen to me in the future, or immediately?
I mean, my personal favorite would be that you would also splash yourself with the slumber essence, being this close to her, and if not fall unconscious, at the very least be physically slowed.
You know what? I'll take it.
All right.
So that happens if I fail?
No, that happens no matter what.
Happens no matter what. All right, now I'm reconsidering this.
You can resist consequences.
I mean, that sounds like a really bad consequence.
I think we should just leave. I feel like he's got this. I feel like
No. Don't go.
Home.
Yeah, Tom.
Please don't leave me.
All
right, I'm taking the die.
All right. 5. All right. So 5s are good. Well, that means you succeed, but there is a consequence. So both of you, you and her, take like a mouthful of this slumber essence. Like, breathe it in, both of you. There's like an orange kind of smoky powder that has little almost like Z's in it for some reason. And as you both breathe this in, you can like see that you have like a bit of a stupor, but she's still holding your hand.
Oh, I'm still holding her hand too.
Right. But her other hand comes up with a kriss and is going to just score you across the arm and chest for level 2 harm.
Okay.
Of a cut. Now, this is something you can resist if you would like to.
I mean, not resisting would be a bad idea, right?
Especially considering that you are currently under essentially a level 2 harm of stupor.
Yeah, let's resist everything that I can resist.
Okay.
How do I do this?
So how are you resisting getting knifed?
I assume I'm gonna resist getting knifed by getting my arm up there and being like, ah!
Okay, that's definitely prowess.
That's excellent. That's the thing I'm worst at.
Just click on the word prowess, and it will roll your resistance for you. And you rolled a 5, so that's actually good. So you take 6 minus 5. You're going to take 1 stress for having blocked the knife. you will take a small amount of harm, level 1 harm of like
Kind of knifed.
yeah, it's involved in a knife fight. You're not stabbed. You're just scraped.
Maybe like a bruised bone for blocking.
Yeah, bruised bone. That's a good one.
All right. Can I also resist being put to sleep by my own machinations?
You can.
That's good. I would love to not fall asleep in the middle of the job.
So I think that would be resolve to just power through.
All right, this is the one I'm good at.
One. All right, it's all ones.
No,
good. It's a 6. All right, you're fine. That's you breathe in slumber essence in your spare time.
I lean into her and say, I've developed an immunity to this patter. And then I'm like, anytime, anyone.
Yeah. And as you do that, you realize that there is someone else in the coach still. You hear them moving around. What do y'all do?
So Tombout was standing on a rooftop by the alley, and I am going to leap down from the rooftop onto the carriage, which I can do because I have the devil's footsteps that allow me to push myself to perform superhuman feats of athletics.
Yeah.
So she jumps off the roof, lands on the carriage, like does a roll, grabs the ledge of the carriage and swings in feet first to kick this other person, whoever they are.
Nice. That sounds really badass and like a skirmish.
Yes. I would argue that doing it from stealth makes it a prowl ambush.
I'll take it.
Okay, it took 2 stress. Position?
You are still in a controlled position because this guy knows about Lysandroth and suspects someone that took out the automaton, but really doesn't know anything about you. So,
okay. Effect?
It's standard. I think boot to the face works equally well on most people.
Control standard.
All right, so yeah, you succeed with some consequences. I think the best consequence here is as you knock this guy unconscious, and like kind of land in the inside of the carriage. The automaton has like stood up and is going to try to pull you back out through the door. Like, you get in there, you kick this guy in the face, and as you're like crouching in the doorway looking around, a mechanical hand clenches around your ankle and starts to yank.
Okay. I will resist that. I think Tombout is a very slippery kind of person. So there's like some like atomic blonde feat of acrobatics to wrench her foot away from this automaton.
Okay. Yeah.
Prowess?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm basically a ninja. It's fine.
Yeah, no, you're basically a ninja. That's exactly what that means. Is take no stress. You managed to slip out from this automaton, but it is like its face has been like cracked in half by the bullet that knocked it off of the coach in the first place, and it's like oozing some kind of like spiritual energy out through this face crack, but it like cocks its broken head sideways at you and is and like one of its legs is broken. It has like clawed its way over here from where it got, because it got beat up. But also it doesn't have meat flesh, so it's ready to fight you with its one leg and its two arms and its weird smoking ghost fluid.
And I think I like after getting away from it, I think I open the door and come out on the other side of the coach, and I say, "Find the artifact. We need to hurry up and get the hell out of here."
I think Lysanderoth is going to shake his hand. The one that's not being held. We're mutual holding.
Yeah.
And a concealed palm pistol falls into it, and he's just going to point it at this woman's face and say, "Now look here, miss. I'm going to need you to stop resisting and tell us where the artifact is, or I'll shoot you in the head. There are many things that spirituality can stop, but a bullet is probably not one of them."
That sounds a lot like a command.
It does.
Yeah,
indeed.
you want to roll some command here. You are definitely in a risky position now.
A risky position?
Yeah.
I have her held. She's been sleep powdered.
She has you held.
Okay, all right, I'll accept that.
It's a mutual hand.
It's a mutual hand holding.
I feel like he initiated it, but she accepted. So
We're practically dating at this point.
I mean, there is also that.
You just tried to drug her. I'm pretty sure.
Look, it sounds really bad when you say it like that.
I don't know how else you could say it.
So yeah, it's definitely risky. But you literally have a gun pointed at her face, so she's listening. It's gonna be standard effect.
Better love story than Twilight.
You're not wrong.
Do I have any bonus die from anybody helping me out here? Maybe. I mean,
somebody want to help out?
Didn't tell him just wreck the crap out of her mechanical automaton.
Can I just shoot her in the head?
Oh yeah.
From where I'm standing. I've been kind of waiting until you guys needed me.
I can't tell you where the artifact is if you do that, but you definitely can do that.
Actually, I'm going to. You may or may not hear loud chuckling from one of the second story or whatever, like right at the end of the alley, just like giggling, like, all right, yeah, do it, it'll be funny, do it. You just hear her talking to herself, okay. And out of nowhere, not going to reveal his name yet, the wolf jumps out and is going to try to pin her. So if she's fighting him here, it's going to just try to appear and catch her off guard, because she's probably not attuning if she's being ambushed with creepy drugs by a stranger.
So is this help, or is this taking in before she has a chance to answer this command?
No, this is like a if it goes wrong, pounce on her. Like if she doesn't answer, just hold her. Mm-hmm. So I'll let him do his action. But if that helps, I don't know how that works. What would that do? Give him an extra die if the wolf just pinned her?
Yeah, I mean, you can give him an extra die, but you do need to take a stress for yourself.
I will do that.
Okay.
Let me ask about devil's bargains. I mean, come on now.
So, well, no matter what happens with this gun in her face and this wolf like right there, she's going to twist the hand holding to put you between her and the wolf.
But
basically,
she'll tell me what I want to know?
she might tell you what you want to know. Depends on what the dice say.
No, I'd rather rely on the wolf.
Okay.
Look, I feel like I can trust the wolf. I trust my teammates here more than I trust this woman and the wolf accidentally biting me. All right. All I just need to do is roll good, like that.
All right. So you do it, but there is a complication, suffer harm or reduced effects. So I think definitely that she manages to get out of your grasp, and she backs away a couple of steps. And her hand starts to emit a smoke very similar to what's coming out of that automaton. Something kind of purplish, wispy, and otherworldly. She has her hand up and has the it's just kind of glowing smoke. But she's like, yes, fine. I'll tell you where it is. I'll retrieve it for you.
You can tell us.
And she smiles, just like this huge shit-eating grin smile, and she says, yes, all right. Then, in the coach, underneath the seat, there's a hidden compartment. And in that hidden compartment, there's a chest. It's inside of the chest.
It seems like it might be time for you to run along home back to your sisters.
She smiles again, takes 2 steps backwards, and then disappears into the fog.
All right.
I don't have time to do anything to react.
No, you can.
As they disengage.
I mean, you can resist the consequence of her leaving, if you want to.
I was gonna shoot her, but to be honest, if I can't,
yeah, you could. Then... You can try to shoot her, but you'd need to resist her disappearing into the fog, because it's literally disappearing.
Well, so he was on her, so he had her pinned. So maybe command.
She managed to step back away from the wolf as she disengaged from both of you there. So I mean, the wolf could probably pounce on her. Or you could try to.
Can I command him to follow her?
Oh yeah,
so that she doesn't immediately try to go get help, and as soon as she's like blue coat or like something other than going home, which will take walking a while, if she tries to catch a coach or do anything that would actually get her back to her sisters faster, pounce on her.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's command, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is that? Fortune? Or an action? Actually,
I think this is an action roll, but the consequences are going to be against your wolf, rather than against you directly. Probably.
Okay.
But this is risky, and
okay. Standard effect or limited?
We'll leave it at standard for right now, but the first consequence is definitely going to be to limit that effect.
And I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna use my foresight ability to assist you with this.
Ah, yes.
Okay. That this was the plan all along, to allow her to escape and then track her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, get an extra die.
Dope. Thank you. Hacha! 6 out of 4.
Nice. That's a 6. And so yeah, the wolf bounds after her. She takes 2 steps and disappears into the fog, and it takes a flying leap after her and disappears into the aether, as it is wont to do, and starts following her. you'll be able to catch up with her later through his eyes.
Okay.
Tombot, I assume you heard all of that. Beneath the chest, beneath the seat, something, as he's like stuffing his pistol back up his coat sleeve, just like, these uniforms are not designed for this. It's ridiculous.
And on the other side of the carriage, Tombot is like, yes, but I'm kind of busy, I say as I face off against this automaton.
I thought that was Stern's job.
Can I shoot it?
You can.
Sorry, that's. I feel like I'm just repeating myself.
No, but this is what we need.
We need these picks.
The plan was maximum violence.
The
automaton just yelling out the window
was on the other side of the carriage, so you can shoot it, but that's why you weren't able to shoot her.
Okay.
Plus, it was the plan all along.
Can I throw in my foresight here to have like kicked the brakes on the carriage so it rolls out of the way, presenting a shot?
Totally.
I don't know why I want to so badly see Lysander just like hop in like the carriage. But yes, keep going, move forward.
Yeah.
Keep going, lizards. Yeah. So I'll take that shot. And then,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I haven't played in a while. It's finesse, correct?
So for
skirmish?
taking a shot, it would probably be hunt. That's usually what you'd roll for shooting things. Finesse is usually more like stealing things.
Okay. The position is controlled.
Yeah, you're in a controlled position here. You're gonna have limited effect
Okay.
on this automaton.
2 6s and a 5.
Well,
I feel like she takes the shot and goes, "Did that help?"
yeah,
Okay.
and like
Marvelous.
it has it hits the automaton, and the automaton like falls back, and you can see that her shot hit exactly like dead center where there is this like glowing crystal vial, like a crystal vial basically, but the bullet hits this crystal vial, and a spirit like whooshes out of it and immediately like dissipates. It leaves. It does not want to be here.
So as soon as I hear the shot go off, I'm like, Stein's got it. I don't even look to see if it hit. I turn to the carriage, and I want to find that hidden compartment and find the chest.
I'm gonna watch the end of the alleyway just in case.
Okay. So, are you studying or surveying to try to find this secret compartment?
I feel like it's a survey.
Okay.
Study would be like if I had the blueprints of this carriage.
Well, I mean, study would be like you like. I feel like would be like very meticulously looking at every single piece or part, whereas survey is just you kind of scan around and you manage to something.
Yeah, it's scanning. It's definitely scanning.
Okay. Yeah.
I will push myself for 2 stress to add a die to this.
Totally.
Because I am in a hurry. What is our position in effect?
Your position is going to be risky, and your effect is going to be standard. Would you like a devil's bargain?
I'm already pushing myself.
Oh no, you're right. You already said you were pushing yourself. I 100% forgot that 2 seconds ago.
No worries. I can't find it.
No, you sure can't. And the dude that you kicked in the face, he starts to stand up, like and he has a knife in his hand. Like, where did that come from? But he's about to do something about you being in this carriage.
He's outside the carriage, though, right?
No, the dude that she kicked in the face is inside of the carriage. He's been passed out inside.
Oh, he was
the
the second passenger, not the autonomous. Okay, sorry.
Correct. Yeah, there were three.
So we don't. I wouldn't see that from where I am, probably.
Probably not, especially since the carriage got moved. So yeah, the reason why you don't see it is because he starts to stand up. He's got a knife and he's ready to lunge at you, and that's a little bit distracting.
Okay. I also have a knife. And if he wants to reenact the Beat It music video with me in this carriage, he is more than welcome.
Yes. Brilliant. So you both lunge at each other with knives, is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd love to assist here if you're willing to.
Yeah, of course.
Lysanderoth is not a very good shot, and he just got done stuffing his concealed palm pistol up his sleeve, but he pulls it back out and he's like, "Ah, bedevil you!" And then he's gonna fire and like scare the crap out of this guy by firing a gun right next to his ear.
Yeah, that gun is loud. And for such a tiny weapon, it has a surprising amount of kick. But that's your one bullet. It totally misses him, but definitely you spend your stress, and Talbot will get another die.
One stress?
One stress to help.
Excellent.
Yes.
Position and effect.
Knife fight is definitely risky, but your effect is going to be standard. Are you trying to disarm him or murder him?
Maximum violence.
Murder that noise.
Just checking.
I'm pretty sure some murder attempts. So I'm taking the bonus die.
That's fair because he's trying to murder you. So
yeah, it's like the mutual hand holding, but with knives.
Yeah, exactly. 6
is
all right. You do it. So yeah, he lunges for you, but this gun goes off beside his head, and he pulls back and is like shaking his head for 2 seconds, and you manage to just get your knife right into his neck, and he's bleeding out on the ground now. He is not.
Yeah, after I knife him in the neck, I'm careful to like put my foot on his sternum and push him out of the carriage so that his blood doesn't make it harder to find this fucking compartment.
Convenience is what you're saying.
I think Lysanderoth will swap places with the guy and look at your bloody knife and be like, how crude. I don't suppose you could find a canal to dump him in somewhere while I take a look at this hidden compartment.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a bell rings in the distance as the last of his life force is like his heart beats one last time.
What's their name? The Spirit Wardens? Yeah. It's like, we can do that once we're sure we have the artifact in hand. We'll just leave, dump this body on the way out, and it'll be fine. But
very well. I mean, Lysanderoth would like to get down on his knees and like look at the bench and kind of pull out some minor tools and maybe some blades to like pry stuff open.
Yeah. Okay.
Steinman's gonna hop down out of her window and head towards the car, put a rifle back, and pull out her both of her throwing knives.
And I'm helping Lysanderoth by being like, no, I've already looked there. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
You know, it is nice to work with professionals every once in a while.
And I take my stress.
I'd like to angle for this to be a study role because that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, I feel like you've got more time here. Not infinite time, but a little bit more time. And you're actually getting in there with your little poke sticks and stuff. So yeah, you can definitely say this is studying.
What's my position?
It's risky. But you have standard effect here.
No, I have this lesser effect thing. Does that put me down from my wound?
Yes, it does. So that's going to be limited effect because of your wound. You can push yourself to eliminate that if you want to.
I feel like I'm
or just roll good.
I feel like rolling good is a thing that I've been doing okay at, especially with. Did I get an 8 die from Tombot there?
Yes. One die.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm confident I can overcome this.
Hey, yeah, totally.
Fine.
Yeah, so she says, no, I already checked there. And so then you, you turn your attention to the other side, and there it is. You realize, being down on your knees, that you see the latch. It's right there. You can open it.
I feel like he's gonna do something distracting with one hand, like bump the knife hilt somewhere, and then like flip the latch while do it with the other hand, and be like, "It's always the last place you look." As the pops open.
Yeah.
Just.
I think Steinman opens up the other, or looks through the other door at the two of them. This is fun and all. I've had a great time, but I think we need to leave, as the bells are quite loud indicator.
Well, I've already calculated how long it will take for the spirit wardens to show up. We're well within the envelope. Who's carrying the spooky ghost chest?
Can we open it?
You can try.
Can I attune to see if there's any type of like magical locks that are gonna mess our day up if we try to?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. I'm just gonna do this.
What does it look like while you're attuning to this chest to look for magical locks and stuff?
It looks a lot like she has a loaded pistol and is leaning on the door that's open and is just scratching her head with her gun and staring at it. It doesn't look fancy. It doesn't look arcane by any nature. She looks like she's solving math problems right now.
I love it. Okay.
So risky, controlled.
This is risky with limited effect because the Dimmer sisters are much better at this than you are.
Okay.
Well, I think the dice will be the ones to decide that.
Can I push myself to gain another die?
If you want to, yeah.
The head scratching. You think that she's gonna like burrow into her head? She's scratching her head so hard while she's thinking. There's a 5.
All right. So we like see through your eyes for just a second, and as you look at the chest, your vision blurs for just a moment, and you can see not where the keyhole is on the chest, but slightly to the left and a little bit higher where you wouldn't think something would be. Like it looks like it's in the lid instead of in the base. There's like a glowing, pulsing circle of something, and then it flares very brightly, and you get a headache from it. That's going to affect your ability to do attunement junk for some level 2 harm of ghost blind. That's a good one. Ghost blind.
Can I resist that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. And what would that entail?
That would be rolling resolve. This is some weird magical mumbo jumbo. So.
Okay.
6? Oh yeah. It is still going to cause level 1 harm of like after image, where you know when you see a very bright light and then you got that kind of an after image in your vision. You have that, but it's in your ghost vision.
I wrote brain freeze.
Brain freeze. That's perfect. It's not like
it's not what you said, but there was a lot, and they were all very good. And I was like, I can't brain freeze. That's
brain freeze.
That's what came out here.
Yeah. So okay. you know there's definitely some kind of magical enchantment on here, and it's not directly where the lock is.
Steinman raises the gun, pointing at them, like just an extension naturally of her hand, and just, you're not going to want to do that. And she just, like, you see her kind of look spaced out a little bit. We need to take that to Skurlock. He knows better than we do about, oh my gosh, I regret this immediately. I'm going to feel that all day.
You
Okay.
regret working together. Well, I never. I can't believe you would say that. We've done so... Oh, you were talking about the chest.
There's magical locks on it.
Don't have time for this. If we're taking it back to Skurlock, then we should do so before the spirit get here.
Okay, Steinman throws her jacket over it. She takes her leather long jacket that conceals her rifle and is like, well, we're doing this now. And throws it over the top, sticks it under her slightly muscular arms, and just, which way? I'm not good at...
This chest is way heavier than it looks like.
She tries, and it immediately falls on the ground,
Yeah, there you go.
making too much noise. Sorry.
Can't we move this carriage?
Yes.
Do you know how to drive a carriage?
No.
I don't either.
The lizards make this weird, like, mooing sound.
What he said.
I'm good with animals. I'll tell you what. Talmbot, one way or another, we need somebody to get rid of the body. So if you could just drag that to a canal and disappear into the night, I'm sure everything will be fine. So Lysander Alta's gonna go up and like try to mush the lizards. Like, don't worry, I'm experienced at this lizards now. Are you ready? Let's go forward in that direction. We can do this together. Work together.
Lovely. What would you feel like driving a
Command.
Yeah, okay. I can see it being command. That makes sense. That makes too much sense. How dare you? Well, you are running low on time, and this is the Dimmer Sisters carriage. It's not like
It's a ghosty night. I'm a blue coat officer. It's not like, come on now. It's perfectly legal. I have documents.
You do have documents. We'll see if you need them. So go ahead and roll risky limited. You're not getting out of here that easily.
That's too bad. I was really hoping I could get out of here that easily. I will push myself.
Okay.
Stress is fine. It's okay. That's a 5.
All right. Yeah. So, as you clear the fog that has come in and you reach a part of the city that is not enshrined in the fog, you see one of the Deathseeker crows in the sky, and you can see it plunge into the fog like you pass each other, and it goes like
Lysander Roth will also caw back. Caw! Look, it's canon to me now that he's mildly good with animals.
Well, secret crows really aren't exactly animals.
I mean, they're just like spirit things.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they're like birds with extra eyes, and you don't really want to look at them too hard because there's something underneath their skin that just won't stop moving.
Everything can be explained with science.
Right. So the spirit wardens are almost there. So Talbot, what are you doing with this body?
I am tiny, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to use the Devil's Footsteps again. And
yes.
heft up this large man. Scuttle down the alleyway and yeet this person into a canal.
Are you crab walking? You know how like you bend your knees and you're just like it's amazing.
That's awesome. I love it.
And nobody will ever suspect it's me because I'm like the size of a gymnast.
Yeah. Well, you need to make a roll to do this before you get caught, because as awesome as you are with your Devil's Footsteps, to be able to do this in the first place, it's still not easy because this guy weighs twice what you do.
Can I crab walk stealthily?
There's a fog. There's
Not
a
your
fog.
typical run-of-the-mill crab.
You will be a lot slower. If you want to do it stealthily, it's going to take you longer, but you're less likely to draw attention to yourself.
I equip my fine shadow cloak.
Oh.
Using one of my slots.
Okay.
And I'm functionally invisible. So now what you have is this man's body doing this weird seesaw motion in the air.
In the middle of the air. It's like 4 feet up. It's just like...
And then he just kind of like goes up on his feet for a bit and tips over into the canal.
Yeah. Let's see if you can do this without getting caught.
Yeah, I want to prowl.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Position.
Yeah, it's still risky. I think with your cloak, you're going to be able to do it if you do it. So we'll say standard effect.
Okay.
But if you don't, it's probably going to be not great. Oh, I know, you totally do it.
Boop, 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 boop,
Nobody sees your little crowd dance.
I like to think there's one little kid or like a homeless person or something just standing in the street, just like,
right?
No one's gonna believe you as you run away.
Stranger things have happened in Dustfall.
Yeah. And I think it's not too long after we hear the splash of the body hitting the canal that the first spirit warden shows up and like kneels down at this pool of blood that is in the middle of the street, and like looks around and it's like, well, this is rather inconvenient, and we'll cut away from that. Now traveling the streets, you're driving a coach with a little bit conspicuously, the fact that a blue coat is driving this coach is a little strange. So how do you not draw attention to yourself as you make your way across town?
That is a great question, because with my subterfuge supplies, I have already swapped back to my Lysanderoth persona with the top hat and the pea coat, and now I just look like a kind of wealthy cabbie.
Steinman's laying down in the back seat so that it looks like it's an empty vehicle.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no reason to suspect us at all. Perfectly normal.
There is, though, because the Dimmer sister, she didn't go home. She's been
watching us watching her.
Yeah. She hasn't seen the wolf yet because you knocked that one out of the park. But she's been watching and slowly following you. I think as you leave the fog, as you have you spotted the Death Seeker Crow, whatever, you kind of follow it with your eyes and you see behind you, also leaving the fog, is a woman wearing a cloak, hood pulled up, but you know, like immediately that it.
I mean, I assume she's got Cheeto powder on her face from before.
Yeah, I mean, you can't see it because the cloak.
Oh.
But yeah, so you see her following you, kind of the tip of fast walking on the pavement. These lizards are not very fast.
Miss Stern, did you want to deal with this, or should I?
Can I mount my gun steadily, like through the back window? Like, obviously, is there glass there to face behind?
Is a pretty well-to-do carriage. There is glass there.
Can I open it, or is it permanent fixture within this carriage?
Let's make a luck roll on that, because I think it could go either way. Just 1d6, and if you can get higher than a 4, 5, or 6, if you get 4, 5, or 6, then you can open it. Otherwise, it is welded shut.
I almost did 1d67. got 5.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can open it.
Okay. Yeah, she's just gonna be so fancy with your hat up there. She's just aiming her gun and just kind of disgruntled that she has to sit up. And I'm going to try to take out one of her legs. I just don't want her to follow us. She doesn't have to die. She just.
Name is always better than. Oh, hey.
That's my wolf. He'll be upon
a list of things MAME is better than that noise.
I have to say, for our opening rolls, this is going a lot better than I thought it would.
Right.
What happened last time?
Sorry, dog has been saved. Rescued from being trapped in the room with me.
What is the position?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I got distracted because there was a dog.
No.
Yeah, you guys you're in a, this is a desperate position because you are now on the main city streets, and if you fire this gun, you are going to draw attention to yourself.
I didn't realize there's people around us. I thought there was fog and just this one woman.
Oh, you're no longer in the fog. You've moved out of the foggy area. You're now in another section of Dustfall. You've moved from Night Market on your way into you're heading to Six Towers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those two are next to each other. There's a map. What does it say here? No, they are. So yeah, you crossed a bridge from Night Market and into Six Towers, and now you're in Six Towers, which is where you're going.
We can't just shoot her on the bridge. I mean, that sounds super
because
epic.
This is it's the bridge is where the edge of the fog is, basically.
Okay.
And she's following you, so she's not like right behind you.
Okay. Can I change what I do then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the knowledge? Okay. I am going to, you hear her muttering to herself again as she'll still open the window and take a look. And she just kind of looks out, looks at the sky and looks back and just mutters, all right, that's enough of that. And then Wolf is going to pounce on her as soon as the fog breaks so that he can have a clear line of sight on her.
Okay.
He's just going to try to incapacitate her, maybe knock her out or something.
Okay.
Push her off the bridge.
Yeah, I'm done with this bridge play.
I heard witches can't swim.
I've heard that. But you are attacking a dimmer sister with a ghost dog, Wolf, so this is still desperate, but it's just the desperateness is against your...
I want to throw in, she has been sleep powdered.
It's true. She is definitely
She's not your average dimmer sister.
She's not at her full capacity, so there is that. So I think you're going to be able to get a standard effect on trying to attack her here with your ghost dog. But if she manages to counterattack, it's going to really hurt your wolf.
Okay.
I want to offer help. Right as she breaks from the fog, I leap down from where I was like Naruto running across the rooftops following the carriage. And I want to drop down and like use the wolf's like attacking to also kind of like try and knock her off balance so that she falls off the bridge.
Love it.
So two-pronged attack.
Two-pronged attack. Yes. Perfect.
I'm going to push myself.
Do it.
She's like, remember that time you wanted to eat that animal, that cat that was in that alley, and I said you couldn't? Well, next time you can if you do this. She's just oh, not well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Oh, no.
He's like, oh, squirrel? And then just...
I think what happens is Talbot jumps down and the wolf leaps, and the two of you collide mid-air as she teleports 2 feet to the left. And so the two of you just smack into each other. You take the full rake of its claws, its ghost claws, and it takes the full brunt of your boots. And so it's going to be doing some very serious harm to you with its ghost claws. But you're going to knock it unconscious or basically out of corporality at the same time.
I have very little stress to spend, so this will probably take me out of this scene. Okay. But I'm going to resist. I think she teleports to the left, and we get like a freeze frame of me being like, what the and then I look back over, and there's this wolf coming at my face. And I alter my momentum to like just dive on the ground of the bridge and have the wolf sail over me.
Okay. Yeah.
So prowess. I take 1 stress.
That's not bad.
1 left.
Nice. So yeah, you're laid out on the ground, and the wolf like falls, flies past you and looks around. It's very confused. And she's got her hand up with the purple smoke again, and is about to do something with that, something bad that you probably don't want to happen to you.
I am laying prone on the ground. So I think I reach up and make sure I'm still wearing my Spirit Bane charm, which I am, and I mark another. I have 2 more item slots left, and I kind of roll onto my back. I'm the least equipped person to deal with this now. But yeah, I'm like.
Simon, you still have the option of taking that shot if you want to.
I am actually going to, Steinman, having seen this, goes, leans forward, pulls a piece of paper from her pocket and shoves it against Lysandroth's jacket, like through the front, and just, all of my proceeds go to here. Just send them here. All of the money, everything I have.
What?
Do it. And she jumps out of the carriage, leaving leaving the chest with him and shutting the door behind her. Just like while it's moving, just kind of like hops out.
Is this an orphanage? What do you think?
I'll haunt you if you don't. As he's driving away with the back window open, and she's going to like try to get the attention of this dimmer sister. Just miss.
Yeah. So she's been looking between Talbot and the wolf, and her gaze looks up at you. You've distracted for half a second.
Yeah, she's gonna hit attempt number 2, and she's gonna try to get the wolf, since she's now turned towards her in the opposite direction, to refocused. Even if just to buy some time.
Well, like you are at the far end, and she's at the far end, and the wolf and Talbot are between the two of you.
They're in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
She's just has her rifle slung over her shoulder then, and she's just distracting her.
Okay.
I've killed your kind before. These sisters. And she looks over because Lysander always does that.
Yeah.
I think as this distraction is happening, instead of getting up, Talbot continues to lay and like flicks her arm so that one of her blades comes into her hand and throws it at this dimmer sister.
Okay. Yeah.
My intent here is, I don't want to kill another person because I already dealt with that. So I think my intent here is I want to hit her casting hand.
Okay.
I want that to stop.
Yeah.
We're done with that. I'm not sure. This feels kind of like a skirmish, but it might also be a hunt. I'm not sure how range this is.
I mean, you're only like 2 feet from her.
Okay.
So.
So I will skirmish position.
This is desperate. If you get her attention or you fail to take out that hand, you are in for a world of hurt.
Effect.
It's standard effect. If you can hit the hand though, she's gonna be in a world of hurt.
Oh no.
No. No.
Oh my.
Don't forget to mark your XP.
I did take that XP. Thank you.
Good. It is the worst outcome. Okay, so you flick the knife into your hand, and that makes just enough of a noise. Her eyes flick to you, and lightning spews out of her hand, and it's going to hit you for 3 harm worth of electrocution immediately, and the knife falls to the ground.
Let's see. Would this count as a security measure?
No, but really good try.
I gotta do it.
If you tried to open the chest, whatever that was would have counted as a security measure.
Yes.
But
does my Spirit Bane charm have any effect here, one way or the other?
no, because this really isn't like a spiritual attack. It's straight up magic. Good try though.
Do I have anything else? Would regular armor help me at all?
Yeah, I think so. Like assuming it's non-metal armor, that may absorb some of the shock of it.
Okay. Then I will use a use of armor. That means I have 1 more item slot. And I will resist and probably trauma out. So I like throw the knife, and I go to throw the knife. Unfortunately, I'm holding something metal in my hand, and she decides to lightning me. So it'd be like that sometimes. But instead of throwing the knife at her, I just kind of like throw it out into the bridge because I don't want to be holding a piece of metal.
Yeah.
And I'm counting on my reflexes to get that out before this lightning hits me, which it does. And that will be prowess. Hey, I don't take any stress. Yay!
Wow, yeah.
I'm not traumatized out.
Congrats. But you still take level 1 harmed of singed. Like the lightning follows the knife as it skitters away from you, but just like enough of it like sparks out to hurt you but not kill you.
Yeah, I'm not dead.
Yeah.
Somebody please help me.
I was wondering if I could get my, like, I guess it's as a cohort to help me. So if I want to take a shot, I want the wolf to come up behind this singed friend and try to almost jump knowing she's going to sidestep, so maybe slowly jump, like it's not full effort to actually attack her, so that when she moves I can have a target and shoot, because you're not going to double dodge, you're not going to expect it.
So basically you're trying to get her to dodge into your bullet.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's gonna make this this risky with standard effect. One of you is gonna hit. Either the wolf is gonna land this, or you're gonna bullet her.
Bullet. You're a devil's advocate.
A devil's bargain, perhaps?
That's what I meant.
As this is a one shot, this is not a particularly like meaty devil's bargain, but definitely as the shot rings out, someone sees your face. It's a great devil's bargain.
I'll take it.
Okay.
So that's another die, right? Bonus die. Can I also push myself?
No.
You can't do both. Okay.
Unless you want to do it to increase your effect.
No, I think we'll leave it for now. 5.
5. Okay, yeah, you do it. But it like slams into her shoulder and she staggers back, and she like shakes out her magic hand. And the next thing you know, she's standing like right next to you. She's in your face, and her other hand has that kris again, that knife with jaggedy things.
I'd like to step in here if I can help out.
Maybe. How are you gonna help?
So Lysanderoth disappeared with the carriage, right? But he walks
Right.
up from an alleyway, and like cleans off his monocle and puts it back in his eye and says, "Yes, my machinations have laid undetected, dimmer sister, for I am a master of deception." And then he throws his arms up and begins force lightninging her in the same way that she's been doing to everybody else.
Yeah, that's gonna cost you some stress.
It will.
But
It will cause me 2 stress.
You can attune to this. This is desperate to fight magic with magic at this point, but I think you can do standard effect to her here.
I have reduced effect though.
Yeah, I think this is after your reduced effect.
Oh, interesting.
Lightning
Okay,
damage
okay.
is really bad.
Yeah, but some have said that.
Yeah, it's true. But you're opening yourself up to her attack as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can I get any help from maybe the dog distracting? Maybe she's looking the wrong way.
Can I drop my rifle to reach for a blade?
Yeah.
Just audibly, like that would be her movement. Maybe it distracts her for a second because she needs to do it. She was going to do it anyway, whether he was there or not.
For stress, I think that's a slight enough distraction that it's gonna split her attention a little bit.
Okay, we'll
You
take
got a devil's bargain for me?
Yes.
Yes.
A compulsion that you do not want to return this helm. You want to keep it for yourself.
No, I'm good. Nope. 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 Nope.
You don't like
See,
that?
this movie, I don't want to be the traitor.
Yeah. Look.
Okay.
Lysanderoth lies all the time. Does he believe in ghosts? Does he not believe in ghosts? Who knows? What he does believe is that Lord Skurlock is way higher tier than he is. Come on, don't fail me now, dice.
All right, a 4. That okay.
I hadn't seen what it was yet, but that noise, I knew it was something else.
You do it, but there is a consequence. So, and I think that what happens here is that she turns and lightnings you back, and so it's like lightning versus lightning, like clashing, until both of you like explode backwards, and you wind up like hitting your head on the corner of the building from the alley that you just came out of, knocking you out with a level 3 harm for head blow, and she falls off the bridge. You don't see her.
Is she definitely dead though?
Are you a medic?
I mean, I'm about to be a medic myself. I would love to resist hitting my head and practically killing myself.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Okay, sure. Yeah, go for it.
Prowess, no bonus die. This is I'm gonna knock myself out. Oh no, I don't.
Amazing. That's going to reduce that to level 2 harm. So you have a slight concussion, but you're not going to die. You don't need help to get out of this situation, but you are slightly concussed here. Yeah, there was a splash. She seems to be gone.
Okay, well, that water is like really bad physically and metaphysically, so let's just go.
Yeah, Lysander just gestures towards the carriage as if nothing happened, even though there's like a pile of blood coming down his face.
I will mention while we quickly leave that someone did see my face.
Well, if we work together in the future, I'm sure we can resolve that, and if not, then that's your own problem. Here's your paperback.
Strong agree. Let's go.
Thank you. Puts it back, hops in.
Yeah, lizards!
It was more of a, do you want me to actually ride with you or leave?
No, we're good. Just lie down on the bench or something. It'll be fine.
Okay. So yeah, I think this is a good time to take a quick break here as you all take this beautiful carriage, that's the word I'm looking for, into the distance, and then we can come back the resolution of this caper. Maybe do some downtime and see what else goes on in the lives of these criminals.
I mean, I don't know that criminals is accurate. We're kind of like acquisition agents. I have legal documents saying we could do this.
I also have a pocket full of sleep drugs.
Well, you know,
True.
as a blue coat, you never know what you're going to
We also have
encounter.
blood dripping down my face.
Who knows what could happen in the line of duty?
Sure,
How many
Jan.
people have seen you in that hat?
An unusual number, given the fact that I switch disguises on a regular basis. So we'll be back in 8 minutes for the second half then.